Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Today I am going to be reviewing Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. This book is a monster. Oh my goodness. The cover is embossed, like the blue dragon, and the words are raised, like they're texturized, which I really love, and it's got a little bit of a shine to it. I borrowed this from my library, the Kindale Library in Stephenville. If you want to check it out, if you like my review or you think the book would interest you, anyone in Newfoundland can get this from the library system. If you don't live in Newfoundland, check out your library. They might have a copy. Like I said, it is huge. It is massive. It is over 800 pages. I think it's 807, and then there's like 26 pages. 804 is the book. And then there's 26 pages of reference, persons of the tale. What else does it say here? Words that you need to know, like a glossary. There's also 2 maps in the beginning. One of the Western world, Western continent, and one of the Eastern continent, which I was constantly referring to. I kept flipping to the maps regularly. Same with the references in the glossary and the characters. Not so much as the maps, though. I use the maps all the time. Come here, Rye. Oh my goodness. Oh, you're heavy. 18 pounds of cat. Every time I wear this sweater particularly. Let go. Your claws hook into it. Just sit there nicely. Be a good kitty. It took me 16 days to read this. It was a slow start for me. It was kind of slow. There is a lot of world building and character building. Like I said, with the map of all the characters. The map of all the characters and like the families and the family names and stuff reminds me a little bit of Game of Thrones. Like they reference certain people by their family names, and it's kind of hard to keep track of them all. I will read the little inscription. Right, quit fussing. A world divided, a queendom without an heir, an ancient enemy awakens. The house of Berethnet has ruled Innis for 1,000 years. Still unwed, Queen Sabran the Ninth must conceive a daughter to protect her realm from destruction. But assassins are getting closer to her door. Ead Durian is an outsider at court. Though she has risen to a position of lady-in-waiting, she is loyal to a hidden society of mages. Ead keeps a watchful eye on Sabran, secretly protecting her with forbidden magic. Across the sea, Tane has trained all her life to be a dragon rider, but is forced to make a choice that could see her life unravel. Meanwhile, the divided East and West refuse to parley, and forces of chaos are rising from their sleep. So this book, like I said, it is deep. It is complicated. The families, the characters are kind of complicated. I would admit that there are, I shouldn't say admit, that's the wrong word for it. There's really good character building and character development. You see the growth in all of the characters. It's really good. There's a lot of different main characters, I should say. Besides the girls that I read, Sabran, the Queen, Ead, and Tane. Those are the 3 main girls, but there's a couple of other side characters. Dr. Roos and Artloth, who goes by Loth, is one of the Queen's best friends. He has a major role to play in the books as well. And some other minor characters, not as important. I didn't really notice any plot holes. There were some things that were quite I wouldn't say quite predictable, but I could see them coming. And I try not to do predicting, but I could see them coming in the book. Um, like I said, it took a bit to get started. It was a slow start. And it's a daunting task. When you see a book that's over 800 pages, it just seems overwhelming. I didn't put any pressure on myself. I just waded in and went with it. The plot starts off kind of slow, but you kind of need it to be slow for the world building and the character building and, well, the plot building for how it goes. They break it down into sections. I think there's 5. Where's the glossary? Maps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 sections that they've broken it down into, and then persons of the tale, glossary, and timeline. Timeline is more of historical things that you need to know, because they do talk a little bit about that. So the 2 different sides, east and west, are kind of, they're not exactly the same. It is a made-up world, but it's kind of like, so the West is kind of like old-fashioned or medieval society, medieval Christianity is what it's comparable to, and the East is comparable to medieval Asian culture. And that's how they portray the dragons, as well as like the Asian style. There's evil dragons as well. So that's sort of who the bad guy is, called the Nameless One. He's basically an evil dragon who they're trying to fight. A lot of world history, but yeah, it was a complicated book. Slow to get into, but I enjoyed it. I think it would be better. I think I would enjoy it more if I read it a second time, because then I already know the characters and stuff. There's a few twists thrown in that I wasn't expecting, which isn't bad. There's a little bit of romance in it, but not a ton. Kind of, not exactly fade to black, but not really detailed. I wouldn't call it smut or spicy in the least, not at all. There's definitely, what's the word I'm looking for? Well, there's same-sex love as well as hetero love. It goes both ways. They make it very normal in the book, which is good. This is how it should be. It should be normal. Emotions that the book gave me. There was happiness, definitely stress, and when they're going through, like, there's battles, there's definitely fights. I feel like she did the fights well. I didn't want to put the book down during those scenes, especially near the end. The last 6th of the book is where all the heat, all the action, all the good stuff takes place. And I didn't want to put it down. The last part, but that was the hardest part to put down at the end. I didn't want to put it down. It's similar to, like I said, Game of Thrones. It's not quite as bloodthirsty as Game of Thrones, but it gave me Game of Thrones vibes with the old school medieval feel and like the complications of the families and the characters, which isn't, I keep saying which isn't a bad thing. You be the judge. I personally don't see it as a bad thing. I gotta stop saying that. Anyway, the end I found mostly satisfying. She did have a good wrap-up, couple of chapters at the end where you get a wrap-up of the main characters. One of them was kind of vague, how it ended. Like, yeah, it was kind of vague in general, but overall, I liked the ending. I felt it wrapped everything up nicely. She could have gone like one of those little, like, one chapter, like 10 years in the future kind of thing. but overall, satisfying. You could potentially have a sequel. I don't know if she had planned a sequel or not. Maybe if she does, that would be 10 years in the future and something else happens. I don't know. I would give it a 4 out of 5 star rating because of the complication, complication, the in-depthness of it, how it can be confusing to some readers. Like, I found it hard. Like I said, it was slow. I had to wade into it. It was slow getting into it. I found the beginning a little confusing, trying to get to know the characters and everything. So for that fact, I give it a 4 out of 5. But the writing is superb. The details are superb. The storyline in general is unique. I guess there's some out there that deal with warring religions and stuff like that, but not too many. But yeah, it started off slow, but it turned into a page turner, which is good. There was moments that were emotionally moving. There was a couple moments of laughter, definitely excitement and happiness for the characters. I felt connected to a few of them. Sadness for deaths and shock for some of the deaths that I wasn't expecting. Overall, a good book, 4 out of 5. I would recommend, if you're up for the task, like I said, pace yourself. Even, like me, I feel like I'm a fast reader, and it took me 16 days. You judge if you think that's a fast reader. I also have a full-time job and a life. Not much of a life. Reading is mostly my life. I really hope you enjoyed that review, and if you want to pick it up, check it out at your library. See if you want to buy it. Maybe you do want to buy it. You never know. Like and subscribe to see more videos. I will put the link in the description box below where else you can find me on Instagram and Goodreads. Have a great day, guys. See you later.